All right. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, citizens of YouTube. This is Pastor Dow. I just got finished coming back from the greenhouse. I had Sister Vicky pick a few things. I also got from my storage a big old jar of sauerkraut. I'll talk to you about this for a second. And look what else I got from my greenhouse. Pull this leaf off right here. That comes from the beet. But look at that. Big old carrot. Big old beet right there. A couple of carrots, a couple of beets. What are you going to do? I'm going to eat them. I'm going to eat these things raw. Does this not look good? Huh? Does this not look good? This has come from my greenhouse. Mind you, this is November the 21st. I'm going to eat this. I'm going to eat this later on tonight as a snack. But anyway, two things I want to talk to you about. I wanted to go ahead and come in and explain to you for a second. And let me see if I can pull up this email here. To show you and the reason why that I've decided to not go with PayPal no more. Because I mean it is just it's off the chain. Let me see what it says right here. Okay, now I want you to understand something. I've been trying to tell us for years, and I've been trying to tell you for years that this system that we all have been trained in, especially when it comes to the religious front of Christianity, it's all a farce. And, there's a reason why that Pastor Dow is out here independently. Now, you have to understand, I have been preaching and teaching for about 20 years, 20-something years. I've been out here straightway for 15 years. I've been out here for 15 years. And, the legitimacy as far as me being a pastor are you people out there that listen to me and support me. You validate my ministry. Just like the saints of the Most High that actually come from different parts of the world to visit, as well as the assembly we have here. We didn't ask permission from the government if we could be a church or an assembly, because when we read the Bible, we can't find nowhere in there, that the church should be sanctioned or approved by the state. Now, with me saying that, every single church organization out there that is 501c3 approved is not a free church. That's why you see me talk different, a whole lot different than all the pastors that you're familiar with out there. Because all the pastors out there, they're not going to tell you that they have a gag order placed over their mouth because they're limited to say certain things based on the 501c3 contractual agreement that they have with the state. And so PayPal is decided to, and they have not canceled my account, but they continually keep asking me to submit things. For instance, your registration as a nonprofit organization with any applicable regulatory body, government, your jurisdiction, such as organization certified articles of incorporation filed with your Secretary of State. Well, we don't have that. All we have is the Holy Bible, the Holy Spirit, and we get our jurisdiction and authority derived straight from the king, because I'm sure that none of the early churches had a 501c3 in order to validate their ministry. And then they go on down to say, what is this? Listen to this. We are writing you in regards to your PayPal account. PayPal appreciates that you have chosen us to accept payments for your organization. Well, we're not an organization. My PayPal account is directly connected to my own particular independent checking account. And look what it says right here. As part of PayPal's compliance program, we request that the entities wishing to accept donations on behalf of a charity or other nonprofit organizations provide evidence of their legitimacy. Now, first of all, I'm not a charity and I'm not a nonprofit organization. I pay taxes. But when they say right here, organization provide evidence of their legitimacy, in other words, you're going to have to prove that the state approves you of being a church. That's kind of like when people were leaving the Catholic religion a long time ago, they went to the Church of England and they had the state of the church. So you only had two options, either to be a Catholic or either fall up under the Church of England, and which I teach everybody don't fall up under neither one of them. Come out of that mess. So you see, this is the reason why that I'm free. And that's the reason why I touch on every subject out here. I'm not going to have people believe in certain things. I'm like, for instance, I'm not going to blame people up inside the church organizations who have all these different beliefs as far as sexual orientation go and think that they can fly here. They can't do that. See, but in a 501c3 church, if a homosexual or lesbian or somebody wanted to actually come up to church and they wanted to become part of the church and be a member of the church, then all the 501c3 churches have to do it. If not, they lose their 501c3 tax-exempt status. They lose their charter. And then the last but not least, which there hasn't been any in the history of mankind, if the government wanted to, they could actually come in and take the property of the church based on the conditions of the contractual agreement was not upheld. And see, that's the problem that we're having today, is that a lot of people don't understand that any time that you sign over your rights and you trade your rights for privileges, you're not being disclosed to you the terms of the contract that you're involving yourself in. So, you know, Jesus was not part of a state church. Neither has the church or the entity has ever been part of the state, and neither do we get a lot of legitimacy from the state or anything else. And so, I mean, I don't know how hard it is. We are not a 501c3. I would never be a 501c3, and I don't think too highly of people who are 501c3s. Now, if you can't understand what I'm saying, I feel for you. But anyway, that's the reason why that we're not going to supply these things, because we don't have them. How can you supply something that you don't want? So we go back and forth. I send them, we're not this, not that, and they keep sending me the same form thing, so we're not going to fool with it. We're going to go another route. Old brother Joe, he's down there in Florida already working on another way, another avenue. Maybe somebody else can take the 2% fee that people receive, you know, that they give to me as far as donations, and we'll be glad to have our business, because Pastor Dow's not going to bow down to the state. And I'm not going to submit the authority of this church, which is under Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus the Christ, and place it up under the state of Tennessee or either the federal government. I'm not going to have them to regulate what I say, what we stand for, and neither am I going to put the people under that. And they're not knowing that they're under that because the leader is not going to disclose to them. And that's the problem with all your Sunday churches. They are in bed because government has always used religion as a tool to control the masses of the people. That's the reason why during this season right here, you're not going to see them come down upon Christmas. Because why? Because it all has to do with merchandise. It all has to do with profits. You see, this is one of the biggest shopping times of the year, and the government uses the churches to do that, to stimulate the economy, to get you to believe that some fictitious fat phony being by the name of Santa Claus is going to give presents to over 6.5 billion people on the face of planet Earth in one night. Mind you, this big old fat sow of a pig with a deer that has a red nose that actually glows in the sky. Now, you've got to be a fool. You've got to be just literally off your rocker. You've got to literally be psychotically insane to believe a lie like that. But if you want to believe it, have fun. I'm not going to teach people lies. I haven't, and I won't. And that's just the truth. Another tip here, which I'm going to include at the end of this video, is George. The brother makes some very dynamic videos over in New America Now. And he's trying to get our attention. And I'm going to attach this video because he's giving me a permission to redo his videos and put them up over here. And I want you to go and check it out over at his site, make a comment over his site. But he's there to stimulate the minds and the conscience of people just like I am. And I'm trying my best to do it. But hey, I hope that you can understand what I'm saying. So, you know, if you still want to support me, and you just want to defy the living system in itself, then I'll provide an address below in the box down here, and then you can send your donations that way until Joe and I come up with something else. Now, on the sauerkraut thing right here that I was talking about, this sauerkraut right here, you see, and you know, it used to be a long time ago that the people would have a lot of probiotics in their diets. And we don't have much of that nowadays, and that's the reason why we're having so many digestive problems, and we're having so many problems with bowels moving, and that's the reason why you got all these products that are sitting on the shelves over there. You can do lines one end of the aisle to the next to try to soften people's stool and stuff. But if you would just get back into eating good old sauerkraut, things that have natural probiotics in it, you can try the yogurts and stuff at the store, but you know, you've got to eat at least 4 or 5 of them cans just in order to get what you would get out of one serving of the sauerkraut. So, and then, you know, you can take some different probiotics and stuff in a pill form that has a whole bunch of digestive enzymes in them to help your body and your your stomach to do the job that it should. But we're having problems in this country, and it's beginning in the colon. It's starting in the stomach, in the colon, and it's going throughout all of our bodies. But I want you to go, and I really want you to listen, and don't cut this off, but listen to what George has to say, because he has a very powerful message coming up next. I hope you enjoy this little video right here, and let me know what you think about what I've said, because if there are any of you Sunday churches out there, you Sabbath-keeping churches, that say that I'm lying and I'm not telling the truth concerning the 501c3, make a comment in this box so everybody can hear it, and so we can actually have a dialogue and talk about this thing, because I understand this very, very, very well.